What if I told you that the guy that you can't stop obsessing over falls into 1 out of 3 categories, and once you see his pattern, the whole illusion breaks? How would I know this? I've been a stripper for the last 6 years of my life, and since I've had to attract like thousands of guys over this period of time, I am able to read their character immediately as I see them. So I'm making this video to help you save yourself from guaranteed heartbreak. And at the end, I'm also going to share with you the good guy that you've actually been overlooking and how to secure him too. Okay, right off the cuff, number 1 is your scarcity-driven man. I'm gonna call him Jack just for the sake of it. Now, Jack is the type who doesn't often get baddies in his life, so when he comes across a baddie like you, he puts you on a pedestal and he obsesses over you and he texts you all the time, and suddenly he treats you better than any other guy that you've ever met, and you fall for it. Because he is literally putting you on a pedestal. Now, put this whole idea of a pedestal, put a pin in it, okay? Because that's gonna bite you in the ass later on, unfortunately. The types of behavior and characteristics that he displays are: he's obsessed, he chooses you very intensely, which is something that all of us love and find very attractive, because don't we all want to be chosen? He gives you that right off the cuff, which in turn lowers your guard, and he gains your trust by giving you pure devotion. And also he tries to lock you in very fast because he's afraid of losing you. Now, remember how we put a pin in the fact that he idolizes you? Yeah, well, the problem with that is that you are still a human being. No matter how great you are, we are still all human beings who make mistakes, who fart, who burp, who make idiots of ourselves. So when you do any of those normal human things, for Jack, the illusion is going to shatter because, like I say, he put you on a pedestal that you can't possibly live up to because it's inhumane, it's impossible. So when that illusion breaks, he stops chasing you. And then where do you end up? You end up feeling like, what have I done wrong? Why has this changed? Why is he suddenly not treating me the way that he used to? So you end up chasing him instead. Even if, caveat, now this is the plot twist, even if maybe you didn't find him as attractive in the beginning, but you started to find him attractive because of how he was treating you and how he was front-loading all of this affection onto you, that you were like, oh my God, maybe I actually really like him. Now think about that. Do you really like him, or do you just really like how he was treating you at the beginning, which now stopped? I'm gonna let the silence land for a little bit. Now, sorry for the bad news, but whilst you're waiting and chasing for that initial feeling that you had with him to come back, I promise you now it's not coming back. It might come back in breadcrumbs, which then creates another loop for you to like mentally obsess over him, because it literally creates the same effect as a slot machine does. So you get more obsessed over him, but it's not you actually liking him as a person, it's your brain doing what it normally does. I have a video going further into this. Go watch it. It's on Limerence. I'm gonna tag it somewhere here. And if you are trying to get out of this whole situation because Jack has front-loaded you and you're trying to exit, but you are struggling to leave him alone, I made a free PDF for you that you can screenshot and save on your phone in times of need when you want to text him. It's called Read This Before You Text Him, and I want you to read it every single time before you want to text that man, because it's gonna help you shatter the illusion, essentially, and come back to your normal sense of self. I got you, girl. I told you I got you. Type number 2 is the validation addict. What shall we name him? Let's call him Chad. I feel like that's really appropriate. The types of behavior. I haven't told you the types of behavior he exhibits. So I've got notes. I made notes here. I'm prepared. He's probably got a nice car. He's got a nice watch. He's got a nice appearance. He flaunts his wealth. He flaunts his body. He flaunts his behavior. He loves to have this veil of power. He also loves to love bomb and future fake. And that in turn is why you like him as well. You buy into it because it is attractive. It's nice to have a rich man. Listen, I've been there. I love myself a Chad. I'm so guilty. That's the thing. A subtle flex of like a Rolex and a nice car. The girl is horny. The beast needs to be fed. It's okay. We're in this together. We're detoxing. We've seen our patterns. We're changing. He loves to feel you obsessing over him and you chasing him, because that feeds back into that ego and validation that he's craving. So the minute that feeling for him stabilizes, he will withdraw, because the whole excitement of it being new and big and whatever, like that wears off for him, and he's chasing the new high again. He's chasing the new type of validation. He's chasing the new thing that's gonna make him feel bigger than his own boot. And then you're left in the same position as we were with Jack, where you are chasing and craving his validation, and you're wondering, oh my God, where did the good times go? What happened there? Why has he changed suddenly? If you are dealing with a Chad 2 and you keep sabotaging yourself by texting him back or texting him, initiating it instead of blocking him, because I hope you've realized this by now, all the types of men that I'm describing you need to block immediately and lose all contact because you don't actually like them and they don't actually like you. It's not genuine. Sorry to break it to you. You will find a better person. This is not good enough. So read my PDF to stop texting him and block him because it's gonna help you. What time are we on? I've got work in 40 minutes that I need to actually go to. Anywho. Oh my god, type 3 is the most common, most boring. They're usually a little bit younger, a lot younger, I say 20, 21. It's your typical strategic player fuckboy type. And what are we gonna call them? What's an appropriate name? Give me the most generic, most common name that you've ever heard in your life. Let me look it up, actually. The most common guy name is James, apparently, so let's call him James. We have Jack, Chad, and James. Tell me in the comments which one you've been dealing with or which one you have dealt with, just to hype each other up. We've got each other. This is a community. And the thing with James is that he is just trying to sleep with you. Basically. All he does is he realizes that women are emotional beings and he will mirror you. So he will reflect back to you with the characteristics and traits that you show to him to make you feel more comfortable with him. And he'll say all the right things. He'll pretend to be caring, protective, thoughtful, etc., 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 in order to lower your guard because he's doing that on purpose and it's not actually genuine and he's evil from the depths of hell. He's probably still warm from coming back from hell and he's usually really young and immature. How would you be able to tell if it's genuine or not? Is honestly just practice and experience. You get a second sense from whether someone's being genuine about their care for you or not. The thing for James is that for those types of men specifically, sex is a type of currency between their other male counterparts because they think the more women that they've slept with, the cooler and the more bro-like that they are. So yeah, again, that's why I say that they're really mature. The types of behavior that James exhibits are James's exhibit. He knows exactly what to say. He plays a tactical game. He mirrors you. I've said all of these. He creates a fast emotional bond. I've said all of these. So you're good, you're covered. And once again, as with Chad and Jack, oh my god, I need to go to work later and I can't speak anymore. Help me. So as with Chad and Jack, the same story repeats itself with James too, because once he gets what he wants and once he actually sleeps with you and gets you into bed, whatever, he will disappear because for him, his goal has been achieved. So why would you find all of these people attractive? Because they sound horrible, right? And it's because they get you to play a slot machine that you never actually agreed to playing. Because they front load you with a lot of affection, gifts, taking care of you, making you feel loved, making you feel chosen. Don't we all love that? That's just such a human, normal need to be desired. They give you all of that up front without actually getting to know you deeper, which is how we know they don't genuinely actually love you because it takes a while to get to know you, to fall in love with you. Therefore, they will give you all of this and withdraw it. And then you are left in the loop of, why did it go away? I want it back. How do I get it back? They breadcrumb you to keep you on the loop. You feel like you're getting back to that base level layer, but it goes back to square one and it repeats itself like this. And it will go on until you break the cycle and you break the pattern. It's on you to walk away from that dynamic. So who is our dream guy that we've been looking for and we will love and adore forever? He is a slow burn. He is someone who is so boring at first because he doesn't front load you with all of this affection. I want you from everything that I've said, if there is one lesson that you're going to take away, is that if someone front loads you with a lot of affection really fast before they get to know who you truly are, run away because it's only going to end in a disaster. And that's why you find them attractive in the first place, because you like how they're treating you. So you like them for how they treat you, not who they fully are, because just like them, you also don't fully know them that well yet. So you are only liking them for that behavior, and they are only liking you because they're one of the three who are trying to get one of those things out of you. So this is not a real true love relationship. You need to break the pattern. This is a limerence loop. Watch my video that I talked about earlier. It will help you understand that a lot better. Our dream guy that we want to pursue is actually really boring at first because they take the time to get to know you. Because just like you are supposed to be evaluating their character, who they are, what are they like, what's good about them, what's interesting about them, they are doing the same to you. So they take time to see you. And I'm not saying, by the way, that they wouldn't buy you flowers, they wouldn't open your car doors, they would do all of that, but they wouldn't front load you. They wouldn't love bomb you, essentially is what I'm saying. They will take the time to get to know you, and then they start showing you the true love and care that you deserve to have. Because now they're not doing it to get something out of you. Now they're doing it because they've fallen in love with who you truly are, with knowing you as a person. And that's where the magic happens. That's who I want you to seek. I want you to take time with your relationships. I want you to take time with getting to know your special person, even if you like them. Because I don't want you to over-romanticize them and then end up with where you have been now. And so have I. Listen, we're all part of this. The way that you get that kind of slow burn guy is that you have to be fully, truly yourself. You can't watch yourself in order to keep the connection. You have to, how do I phrase this better? Hold on. That you can't monitor yourself when you speak to them in order to preserve the connection. You have to be who you truly are. You have to speak off the cuff, even if it's a little bit rude, a little bit silly, a little bit awkward, a little bit goofy. I want you to say it and say it with your chest, instead of constantly monitoring what you're saying and trying to appear in the best way possible, especially over text, especially in person. Don't ever overthink what you're saying. Just say it with your chest and act with alignment of what actually suits you. I'm going to make a video diving deeper into this, so subscribe to find out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please read my PDF if you are trying to get rid of any of the 3 guys that I've earlier discussed in the description down below. Like and subscribe. Love you millions, and I'll see you again next week.